Hello again. Welcome to Talking Sports and Fitness with Zeke. I'm Zeke, sometimes known as Mike Zielinski. Just please like us on Facebook, and also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already to the People Chronicles channel on YouTube. My guest again today, and I'm honored, is Linda Zogas, who is an outstanding yoga instructor, former fitness guru as well, and she has Building 7 on Park Road. Welcome, Linda. In our first show, we kind of gave an overview about your background and what's going on in Building 7. You got a ton of stuff. This program, I'd like to get into some of the specifics of the different yoga disciplines. So go ahead, tell me about the variety of yogas and why they're good.
Well, the variety of yogas and why they're good, because it's like having all the flavors of ice cream. At the end,
like that.
Everyone's satisfied, right?
Yeah,
You eat an ice cream cone, you're happy, So there are just as many disciplines of yoga for everyone to get to the same place at the end. So whether you choose to stand on your hands or whether you choose to lay on blankets and be assisted and be very quiet and very meditative, at the end, we all get to Shavasana. We all get to that place of peace, that place of quiet.
And that's what's called.
That's the last posture. Shavasana is corpse pose, and you practice being still. It's said to be the hardest posture in yoga because we've been rewarded for so long to be so busy, right? We get rewarded when we multitask.
Right.
Do we get rewarded when we only do one thing and when we take care of ourselves and pay attention to ourselves? Not so much.
No.
Not so much. The glorification of busy has taken over. I think it started a while ago with the supermom, right?
Yeah.
And the supermom is still existing on Facebook, unfortunately. People portray themselves. They want everyone to see themselves in a certain way.
Yeah.
And
we all do that to a degree.
We all do that to a degree. So yoga gives you a little glimpse of who you really are inside, and then maybe you get to carry that over, and you get to understand that everyone is messy some days, and life is messy some days. And we learn through the process of yoga how to ebb and flow through that mess instead of having everything organized. You wake up in the morning and you have this plan. Okay, I have to do this, 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 and this. Inevitably, there's a wrench thrown in your plan.
Yeah, and then you get frustrated.
So it's your reaction to that wrench thrown in the plan that makes your day, right? It's not the wrench.
Right.
It's your reaction to it.
Yes.
So.
All right. So
does that make sense?
Yes, it does, and I need to work on that. But anyway,
we all do.
So yoga is basically mental. It's serenity, quiet, but there's obviously the physical postures.
Lots of power behind it. Yes.
Now, so tell me the difference you say between power yoga, hot yoga, traditional yoga, whatever yogas you have.
We don't do what everyone has coined to be hot yoga. That's Bikram yoga, and there's a Bikram studio in West Redding.
They just do it in the hot.
And they do that in a hot room. They do that in a 104, 108 degree room. I can't remember what the temperature is.
That's the only difference.
The only difference is, and they have the same postures. So every time that you walk in there, no matter whether you go to the studio in Reading or a studio in Philly or a studio in New York City, you're going to get the same postures spoken to you in the same dialogue.
You don't do that. Why?
We don't do that because that's just not in our practice.
Okay.
We have more of a well-rounded Vinyasa flow. So Vinyasa means that we move a lot. So the room doesn't have to be so hot. We work on our breath work and work on our internal fire. And we have a lot more movement. We do sun salutations and teach you a lot of different breath work.
Now, what's power yoga? You're just doing things more powerfully, or what? I'm naive.
Power yoga just means more movement and practice harnessing your internal power. There's a quiet power that there's a beefy power that we have in the gym. If I'm going to lift, if I'm going to do a chest press, all I'm working is that. My lower body isn't working a chest press.
Right.
In yoga, your whole body has to work for each posture.
So it's a totally body.
Your whole body has to work. And therefore, that's why I chose the two other things that in our third room of the Indo-Row and the TRX, because they offer the same discipline. And I still believe on keeping yourself firm and working on your bone density. For women, I'm obsessed with the 50-year-old woman and not battling, because we don't use those words. We don't fight cancer. We don't battle things in yoga practice. We work with it. You know, so we need to work with menopause.
So
we need to
yoga
work.
can help osteoporosis?
Oh, absolutely. You have to build your bone density, yeah. And you know, our hip flexors, we sit a lot, we drive a lot, and even the types of exercise that we do outside, say hiking and biking, and those are great. Everyone needs to get outside more. But we want to keep our hip flexor flexible and strong at the same time.
Right.
That's going to prevent us from falling over.
Yeah, and which is a killer for senior citizens.
Is a killer.
Literally.
Yep.
Tell me, what's aerial yoga? You're just doing it in the sky or what?
Aerial yoga is awesome. People do aerial yoga with us that don't even practice our yoga, that don't practice in the building. They just came to do that. And it hangs from, or we have beams from the ceiling.
You're saying hangs, I'm looking up.
Yeah,
like
I know, I'm looking up too. And then we have daisy chains that come down. It's all rock climbing equipment. It can hold 30-some hundred pounds. So any body type can do aerial yoga.
So you're working your body against gravity?
You're working a lot of trust.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So we get you to sit in the sling first. There's a lot of trust involved in that.
And they do postures in this sling?
We do postures in the sling. It's very supportive, very opening, very smooth, and it can be very calm. At the end, instead of the shavasana that we talked about, that we lay flat in corpse pose, you're enclosed in a cocoon. And you're just by yourself, just suspended in air.
Is that popular?
It is.
Mostly younger?
No. That's the myth.
Really?
That is the myth. Had a lot of 60-some-year-old women get on that sling that are not.
It's not intimidating?
It is not for the. It's not for just the extra fit person or the young person. It's for any body type whatsoever.
Okay, so you have aerial yoga, you have power yoga.
We have restorative yoga.
Now what's that?
Restorative yoga is a very gentle yoga. It's more about connective tissue, about joints. So it's less about lengthening my hamstring, although that happens because a lot of our muscle tightness comes from the origin and insertion of the muscle at the joint point. So we hold postures for a very long time. All of our teachers are well versed in anatomy, and they do assists on you while you're in there. So you may hold your knee to your chest for 3 minutes. So that takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure it does.
Mm-hmm. And then we have yoga for athletes, which is also a combination of movement and a lot of holding postures because they're athletic throughout the week. So if you're a hardcore long distance runner, a sports person, we do a lot of high school sports groups.
Oh, you do? I didn't realize that. Really?
Yeah, that's really popular.
Football players too?
We haven't gotten any calls for football players. But
maybe
we have a bunch of the Reading Royals guys coming in for
really?
yoga lately.
Hockey players?
Yeah, they're very tall.
Yeah.
I didn't know how tall they were.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool. And yeah, the yoga for athletes.
Are they there because their coach told them or because they want to be there?
No. In fact, I asked about that, and no. So I'm trying to talk about that.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Now, before we run out of time, what is the difference between suspension training where you're, and define that, and also detail what TRX is, because I thought they were one and the same.
They are. Well, I think you're confusing our aerial yoga for suspension.
Okay, maybe I was. Okay.
Separate kind of strap system, separate room, although we do go in the hot room for for the TRX also. But we have TRX that hangs off the wall. And that, again, requires your whole body. So even if you're doing a chest press with the straps, the rest of your body has to be tight and in a certain position. So it's very friendly, body friendly. And again, like I said earlier about the rowing group that I have, they also do TRX with me, and the average age is 60 to 80 in there to do that. So yeah.
60 to 80?
Yeah, it's a really awesome class.
Really?
And so we design classes where they can be comfortable with like-minded people. So if you haven't ever worked out before and you have some goals, whether they're to lose weight or just to become more comfortable in your own skin, we can accommodate that. We put you with other like-minded people.
And tell me a bit about your Indo-Row. Is it Indy?
No, it's called Indo-Row.
Indo-Row.
So there's a company called Water Rower that makes water rowers. That's what everyone sees on that one show that Kevin Bacon, no, not Kevin Spacey. He was doing, and it's an erg. So it has a tank full of water. So unlike a Schwinn bike where you set the resistance, you create the resistance with your own body. So when you learn how to roll up on the balls of your feet and press back and make the water go around in the tank and get behind the paddles better, then you create more resistance. And again, you can have a 60-something-year-old person sitting next to a 20-year-old person. They're doing the same cadence, but at different strengths, and nobody knows it because they're looking at their personal screen. Wow. So it's very individualized. So it's non-competitive. It's awesome. Very efficient cardio, caloric burning workout. You don't need to do it forever. Short spurts.
It's an amazing place, Building 7 Yoga.
It is.
We wish you the best of luck. And again, for anybody interested in taking any of these classes, Building 7 is online. You're also in the phone book. And you're also on Park Road, right?
Park Road, Facebook, everywhere.
Oh, Facebook.
We're right next to Core Fitness. We're connected to Chris Kegg.
And you go to Core Fitness?
Yes, I do.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. I love Chris Kegg.
Tell me you don't do anything wrong. That's amazing. But anyway, thank you so much,
Thank
Linda.
you.
Linda Zogas, Building 7 Yoga. Please check them out, and it'll transform your life. And again, this is Zeke saying goodbye.
These community stories are made possible in part by BCTV, Susie Ray Design, Queen City Family Restaurant, Lamar Advertising, Heidelberg Family Restaurant, Reading Air, Lions and Hole, Peanut Bar, and Kutztown University.